Okay, so it's time for the review of the Viwoods AiPaper Reader, and this is an amazing device. So let's begin. So here are my scene cam, and here are the Viwoods AiPaper Reader, and I must say that this is one of the best devices I have at the moment. This and the Viwoods AiPaper Mini is the two best e-ink devices I have. This is incredible, actually. It beats the Onyx Boox Palma by far. It's so much better than the Onyx Boox Palma. And today I also got a SIM card for mobile data, but I think I can even call with this and use it as a phone if I prefer to do that, but I don't use it as a phone because this SIM card is has the phone capability on, so I can use it as a phone with headphones because the Viwoods AiPaper Reader doesn't have a speaker, and I think that's just fine by me. It doesn't need a speaker, but the display on this is incredible. One of the greatest things is that it has auto ghosting removal exactly as the Viwoods AiPaper Mini, but it has 4 different refresh modes, and the refresh modes I use is the best display, as you see there, and also quick refresh. So the quick refresh is the fastest mode, and that is unbelievably fast without ghosting. So incredibly. If I have a fast mode on the Palma, you see terrible ghosting, but on this device you don't see as much. I will show you that later on. So we have best display when I'm reading books, and that is what I do the most, and I have quick refresh on when I do web surfing or Reddit surfing or whatever. So let's open, for example, Google here, so you see the Google News, and now I have the fastest refresh mode on, so let's see how fast it scrolls. You see? That is fast. And every time it stops, you see, it got some ghosting when you are scrolling, but when you release, it removes the ghosting. And that is very, very nifty. So I think the fast mode is incredible on this device. You can use it for a lot of stuff that you usually can't do with e-ink thanks to this refresh mode. I think that's gorgeous. So if we, for example, want to open some article, let's say that, I open that article and I'll agree to their cookies. Now I can browse this. Every time I scroll, you see, you get ghosting, but when I'm releasing it, I can clearly read the text of this article. I think that's incredibly smart to do this. So, and the gestures, by the way, I don't think many users of this know the gestures yet, but if you do this, you go back to home page. If you do this and hold, you get the task manager, so you can close apps and so on that you don't use and everything. So if I click here, I close all the apps. If you, for example, want to read something now, I haven't installed Co-Reader yet on this because I want to do a video about that. So I will install Co-Reader later on, but I have the next best thing here, and that is Readest. And Readest syncs with Co-Reader, so that is an excellent app. I really like Readest too. So if I open this book, it syncs to the last place of that book. So if I have read this book on Co-Reader, I can open that in Readest and I can read and enjoy this book, as you see. And as you see here now, we have the fast refresh mode, and still the text is gorgeous. So now if we choose the best display mode for reading books, you hardly see the difference, but the text is more sharpened with the best display mode. And I think that's the best with this device. You don't have any ghosting at all. So This display with the auto ghosting removal feature on is the best e-ink display I ever seen. So if I have best display on, I can never see any ghosting. It beats Onyx Boox Palma by far when it comes to ghosting. And also the quality of the display. The Palma is yellowish, and even when you don't have any background front light on, it's a bit yellowish, and when you have front light on, you have not even display on the Palma. But on this, the AiPaper Reader, the display is gorgeous, even with front light on. So if I raise, we can do max here, you still see how excellent the display is. It's so evenly over the complete display when having front light on. Unbelievable. And some users have said that it doesn't have any warm light. But I think the light on this is so optimized, so it has no cold light, and it's still not too warm. So when you have this light on, you get a white paper-like feeling whenever you use it in any lighting condition. So in total darkness, when I'm reading, I just set it to 1, and this is perfectly fine for me, because with the latest update of this, they lowered the number 1 option here, so it's a lot darker than before. So with 1 now, it's completely fine in a complete dark room, and it doesn't be yellowish. I hate yellowish displays, so it will be white without any cool lighting, if you know what I mean. It's so highly optimized, this front light. They have chosen a default color of the front light, so I think the front light is amazing actually. So to have it as white as possible wherever you are. You can have different lighting here, but usually in the day I just have 0, because I don't need it. When I'm home I have so much light in here, so I can still use the display as I want it, so no need for it. But sometimes in the evening here in Sweden, when it's dark outside, I usually have it at 1 or 2, because then it gets a bit more darker inside, so I still use it as 1 here. So I think that's amazing. It's an amazing feature. And now we come to the thing that I like the most with this device, and that is the knowledge base. Viwoods decided to not have stylus support on the Viwoods AiPaper Reader. Some users say that's not good, but I think it's an excellent choice, because this display is too small to be able to use with a stylus. Way too small. So if I, for example, use the Viwoods AiPaper Mini stylus on it, I can hardly write on this display. It's way too small to write on. So they decided to use a knowledge base instead. And a knowledge base is excellent to store all your information, knowledge, facts, everything you see when reading a book or a website or news or whatever. So you can store that information using the built-in AI. And the AI button down here is so easily to get to, and sometimes when reading you hit that by mistake, but I have learned to not do that now. But if you do that, you just click here and the AI opens, just click again and you're back to the book. So whatever you do, it's not a big deal to me. Just click and it closes the AI and you go back to what you did before. But the button works great for content too. So for example, if I need some glasses now, sorry. So if I, for example, want to have something about a word here that I'm reading. So let's say that we will find a word we want to see more facts about. So let's say we want to have wildflowers here. I click on that and I copy the word and click the AI button. We open the AI. Here we have different engines to choose from. It stores the latest you use, and I prefer Gemini 2.5 Flash because it's very fast for what I want it to do, but you can choose the others if you prefer. And I also click in web search usually. So now I can paste this and type förklara på svenska, define in English. And now I just paste that word. Förklara wildflowers. Define wildflowers. And I just click here. Now I get a lot of facts and information about that word, wildflowers, in Swedish, my language. So now when I have all that facts and I want to store that in my knowledge base, I just click this button down there. So if I click here, I can now choose different books I have stored information in that you can create yourself. So if I click here, I have some different books I have stored information in, as you see. But I want to store this in the dictionary. But if you go back here, I can just create a new by clicking on the word and type the new book that I want to store it. And I can also type some notes here, and the notes gets also searchable. So that's quite nifty. So now I want to store it in the dictionary. I just click save. So now I've stored that in the knowledge base. So if we now go back to the home page, we see that knowledge base up here. We can click more to open all those. I have all my knowledge bases at the moment, books that I have stored information in. And here we have that I stored the information in from this. You can use the volume buttons to go between the pages, as you see here. I click here and it says last item. I can click back to go to everything else I have stored in here. So you see, so this is quite nifty because this is also searchable, and to search all these you can use search that is built into the device by clicking search here. I have some problems by using the search actually sometimes because it doesn't find everything that I know is in these books, but maybe that is a bug, and Viwoods will fix that later on because at the moment not everything are searchable. So if I search wildflowers here, you see it doesn't find it because it probably are the Swedish word. We can maybe search for blommor in Swedish. Then vildblommor in Swedish, I could search for that. So then I find this in my knowledge base about wildflowers. So that is quite good. So you can use the built-in search to find everything in your knowledge base. Really nice. So now I have the slowest refresh mode on, the best display, as I said, because I'm reading a book. But you can also do a different thing here. You can open, by the way, we go too fast again because I am on the web. So if I want to store something from here, information, let's open this article, for example. And if I want to store something from this page into my knowledge base, I can, for example, scroll here, and now I can go up here and click screenshot. Now it takes a screenshot that I can crop to what I want to store. Let's just that text here, as you see. Now I cropped it for that text I want to store. Now I can save it as an image by clicking save. And images doesn't get searched, so I want to use the AI again for translate this into text. I click on the AI assistant, and then I click on that it should transcribe into text. And here I have the text, and now I can click to store that in my knowledge base. That is very nifty. So you saw how I could do that. I can store information from what I'm reading by just having a screenshot or whatever. So that is pretty nifty, don't you say? So I can store a lot of information in my knowledge base from what I'm reading, whatever I want to read. I can store images and everything by just doing a screenshot. That's pretty nifty. And by the way, the screenshot could have a smart button on the display all the time if you prefer, by clicking assistive touch. Now, when I have assistive touch on, we have a little ball for just screenshots, as you see there. But I don't like to have a ball on my display. Palma Boox devices have the same and so on, so I always turn them off because I don't like them, like so. So I can rather do this when I need to do a screenshot. So that's about it. I must say once again that this is an amazing device for both reading and storing information into a database, a knowledge base that Viwoods are calling it. So I think the display is amazing for everything that I want to use this device for. This device is simply amazing. I can't have any better device in this size. It's impossible. So I'm so happy with this device. So it's unbelievable. I have it always with me, and now I have a 4G connection on it, so I can have it always having internet, AI, knowledge base, everything available for me wherever I go. I think it's amazing. So that was my review of the AiPaper Reader from Viwoods. An amazing, incredible device. And soon it's December, and I will do my best e-reader video. I usually do in December for this year. And I know already that this device will be on top. And also their sister device, the Viwoods AiPaper Mini, will also be on top in my list. I'm sure of that because I love these two devices. Okay. Please like this video, please do that. I need more subscribers too, so subscribe to my YouTube channel, do that, please. Okay? Bye.